Do you know that sometimes helping someone during their bad time, supporting them, can cost you heavily? Who knows, one day that very person might erase you from this world in return. And when the time is already bad, nothing seems to go right. The human mind becomes corrupted. If decisions aren't made with careful thought, it feels like the devil takes control of our head, and then a person can do anything. Today we're going to talk about such an incident. One where 30 pieces of human body parts were found across different parts of a city, creating panic in the entire region. Even the police lost their sleep. Before we begin the video, please make sure to like this video and subscribe channel. Today's case is about Mrs. Shetty. This story begins in Dakshina Kannada district of Karnataka. Here lies a well-known city called Mangalore or Mangaluru, situated on the edge of the Arabian Sea. It's a major commercial center of Karnataka, and because it has a port, goods are imported and exported from here all over the world. Inside Mangaluru, there's a local area called Kadri. And in Kadri, there's a park where a man used to set up his stall. The date was May 12, 2019. Early morning, the sun had just risen. This shopkeeper was walking near Kadri Park to open his stall when he noticed 2 plastic bags lying nearby. He found it strange. Who might have left them here? They weren't there yesterday. Curious, the shopkeeper walked closer. He opened the bag that looked more bulged and heavy. Inside, wrapped in a reddish substance, there was a helmet. As he flipped the helmet around inside the bag, his heart nearly stopped. What he saw inside that helmet shook him. It was a severed human head. The shopkeeper panicked. He immediately suspected the second bag must have more of the same. Without wasting time, he called the police. Officers from Kadri police station rushed to the scene. By now, people had begun to gather around as well. When the police opened the second bag, their faces too turned pale. More human body parts, hands and small chunks of the torso were found. The area was immediately cordoned off. The police brought in sniffer dogs and searched every corner for more clues. They hoped to find more bags, maybe hidden nearby. But despite all their efforts, nothing else turned up. The recovered remains were sent to the forensic lab at Wenlock Hospital in the district for examination. Just a few kilometers from Kadri, there's another area called Nandiguda. On the same day, May 12th, a second police station received a call. Someone reported that near the Christian cemetery in Nandiguda, there was a gunny bag leaking red fluid. The local police arrived quickly, opened the bag, and discovered more human body parts. More small chunks of a torso. They immediately connected the dots. Weren't similar bags found earlier in Kadri? They informed Kadri police, and the remains were sent for forensic testing. By now, a case had already been filed in Kadri East Police Station against an unknown person. With multiple body parts turning up, the case now felt extremely serious. Fear spread throughout the city. The police commissioner formed a special team of 30 members, including the Central Crime Branch, CCB, a specialized unit of Bengaluru City Police for high-priority investigations. The team included officers from Kankanadi and Pandit Swara police stations, divided into 3 units, combining to a total of 30 officers. At this stage, only the head, hands, and some torso parts had been recovered. The remaining body parts were still missing. However, forensic experts confirmed something crucial. All the body parts belonged to the same person. A woman, approximately 35 to 40 years old. Her face was recognizable, but no one could identify her yet. The murder had likely occurred within the last 24 to 30 hours, meaning it happened around May 11th. The top priority for the police was to find out who this woman was. Only then could the case move forward. They sent messages to all police stations in Mangalore, asking if any missing persons reports had been filed recently, especially of women between 35 and 40 years of age. Meanwhile, as news channels picked up the story, one man came to the Kadri police station. He said that his sister had been missing since the morning of May 11th. She left for her shop on her scooter, he said. She owns an electrical repair shop in Adavar area. She usually leaves by 9 a.m. every day. She left that morning as usual, but never reached the shop. Her employees told him that they tried to call her when she didn't show up, but her phone was switched off. They called the brother, who also tried contacting her. He searched for her everywhere, asked friends, relatives, everyone he could think of, but she was nowhere to be found. A full day and night passed. Still no sign of his sister. After hearing everything, the police asked for more details: her name, age, what she was wearing, and how she looked. The man told them her name was Mrs. Shetty. She was 37 years old. Immediately, the police informed the investigating officer from the forensic unit. A man had just come in with a missing person report matching their victim. They took the brother to the district hospital, where he was shown the severed head and remains. The moment he saw them, he broke down. He identified the woman as his sister, Mrs. Shetty. He then informed the rest of the family about her death. And so, on the same day that the body parts were discovered, the identity of the woman was confirmed. Now, the police began digging into Mrs. Shetty's background. In a case investigation, understanding the background of the victim is very important. It helps a lot in solving the case. Mrs. Shetty lived in the Adavar area of Mangalore with her father's elder sister, that is, her paternal aunt. She had been married once before, but the relationship didn't work out, and she got divorced. She used to run a shop named Shri Polali Electrical and Electronic Sales and Service, where electrical appliances were repaired. Around 4 years ago, with her own hard work, she built a house in Amar Alva Lane, Adavar. She later moved there and lived alone. The rest of her family lived nearby, but at some distance. After divorcing her first husband, another man entered her life. He was a distant relative named Sudeep. Even though the family opposed the relationship, Mrs. Shetty went ahead and married him. But again, 2 years ago, she filed for divorce from Sudeep as well. When the police learned this, suspicion immediately arose. Could either of her ex-husbands be involved in her murder? The police first detained her first husband for questioning. They checked his CDR, call detail records, locations, and interrogated him thoroughly. He claimed that after the divorce, he had no contact or relationship with Mrs. Shetty. And that turned out to be true. His location was nowhere near her home or shop during the time in question. Then the police asked the family, "Where is Sudeep?" They were told that he was in jail. Sudeep had several cases of theft and robbery registered against him in different police stations. He was an under-trial prisoner. Due to his criminal background, Mrs. Shetty had decided to file for divorce from him. Now, since Sudeep had a criminal mindset, it was possible that he was behind the crime. But he had been in jail for a long time. Then how could he have done it? The police visited Sudeep in jail for interrogation. He also said, "I've been in jail. How can I kill her? I don't even have a reason to do so." He was interrogated from all angles, but eventually he was found to be innocent. Then who killed Mrs. Shetty and why? The police collected her phone number from the family and retrieved her CDR and mobile tower locations. On May 13th, multiple reports of jute gunny bags being found across various parts of the city were coming in. At locations like KPT Junction near a petrol pump, Padua Hostel, near Kodi Chinaya Circle, Vaman Nayak Road, several body parts were recovered from plastic bags. These were sent to the district hospital. The suspicion was that these might be parts of Mrs. Shetty's body. Meanwhile, the police began checking CCTV footage between Mrs. Shetty's home and her shop. They wanted to know, if she left her home but didn't reach the shop, then where did she go? The police were also collecting more details from the family. Did she have any enemies? Could there be another reason? They found out Mrs. Shetty usually went to her shop by car, leaving around 9 a.m. carrying her lunchbox. But on May 11th, she left on her TVS Jupiter scooter. The police examined CCTV cameras around her home. In the footage, she was seen wearing a black top and white trousers, leaving around 9 a.m. But instead of heading toward her shop, she passed through Roshni Nalaya, reached Valencia Circle, took a right turn, went to Nandiguda, and from there headed to South Arpit. After that, she vanished. Neither she nor her scooter appeared in any further footage. Her phone's last location was also shown to be in South Arpit. The investigating officer instructed officers from Kadri and Kankanadi police stations to track her scooter using the number provided. It was believed that she must be somewhere nearby. The police had checked all CCTV cameras in that area, but the scooter wasn't seen anywhere, which meant she had gone to a place without any cameras. By the evening of May 13th, the Kadri and Kankanadi police reached an area called Naguri. They sought help from local residents and provided them with the color, make, and registration number of the scooter. Some locals noticed a maroon-colored TVS Jupiter parked outside a garage surrounded by many other vehicles. When they checked the number plate, they found it matched. The police arrived and examined the scooter. Its appearance and registration number confirmed it was Mrs. Shetty's scooter. There were blood stains on the rear wheel. Inside, there were body parts packed in sacks, a tiffin box, a bank passbook, a charger, and a handkerchief. All the parts were sent to the district hospital for further investigation. However, the full body was still not found. Some parts were still missing. In talking to the family, the police discovered that, in addition to her repair shop, Mrs. Shetty also ran a Chit fund business. She used to lend money to people on interest. Now, the police had another theory. Maybe someone who owed her money wanted to get rid of her to avoid repayment. But how could they find out who owed her money? The police questioned the staff at her shop. They learned that Mrs. Shetty maintained a diary of all the loans she gave. Upon searching the shop, the police found the diary. To whom money was given, how much was owed, when and how much was to be recovered. Using this, police started questioning various people. They also checked her last phone calls and interrogated about 20 people, but found no leads. As more body parts were discovered, panic spread among the public, and pressure increased on the police. Still, they were empty-handed. The police then reviewed footage from places where jute bags were found. On May 14th, they got CCTV footage from a petrol pump near Kadri Park. It showed a man arriving late at night between May 11th and 12th on a Honda Activa. He had several jute bags. He placed 2 of them near a shop and left. Unfortunately, it was dark and the camera was at a distance, so his face and the vehicle number were not visible. The police hit a dead end again. Around the same time, a rumor spread that a well in Kadri had body parts in it. Someone had reportedly seen someone throw something into it. When police heard this, they brought in sniffer dogs, fire brigade, and a water pump machine. After thorough inspection and draining the well, they found plastic bags at the bottom. But after opening them, they found nothing. Just a false rumor. Meanwhile, on May 15th in Kadri's Srinivas, near Malia Park, by the roadside, a bag wrapped in leaves was found. When the police checked it, they discovered pieces of a foot inside. This was the last part that was missing. After this, the body of the woman was complete. A total of 29 parts had been found. Meanwhile, a police officer rechecked the footage in which the woman was last seen in the South Pet area. It showed that the woman had stopped her scooter for 2 to 3 seconds, parked it aside, spoke to a man sitting on another scooter, and then drove off. This was only a 2 to 3 second footage. Initially, the police had ignored it. After the woman left, the man also turned his scooter and drove towards the woman's direction. Upon further investigation, the police saw that the man had the same Honda scooter that the one who threw the bag had used. The man's appearance also seemed the same. This time, the scooter's number was captured on camera. The scooter was registered under the name Jonas Samson. The police obtained his address and visited his house by the evening of May 15th. His house was located at the 9th Cross Road in South Pet, Kanaknedi. When the police knocked on his door, the man opened it but quickly shut it upon seeing the police. His actions made the police suspicious that something was wrong. They feared he might harm himself or escape. The police broke down the door and found Jonas Samson attacking himself with a knife. He was about to take his own life. The police stopped him and took control of the situation. His name was written in the woman's loan diary, but only his surname, Samson, was mentioned, with no full name. Since many people in the area had the name Samson, the police couldn't find the correct person. The woman had also spoken to him on a call. On the evening of May 10th, the police admitted Jonas to the hospital because he had injured himself. After recovering by May 17th at 18, the police took him to the station for questioning. They showed him the CCTV footage, call details, and explained that the woman had visited South Pet on May 11th, where Jonas's house was located. On the way, she met him for 2 or 3 seconds, spoke to him, and then left. He also turned his scooter around and followed her. They asked Jonas about what the woman had said to him in those few seconds. Jonas finally told the whole truth. Jonas, 35, and his wife, Victoria Matthias, 46, had lived in the Tower area. Jonas had borrowed 1 lakh from the woman to start his business about a year ago. However, he failed to repay her on time and she publicly humiliated him. Forced by circumstances, Jonas had to take the loan. He was a butcher and ran a mobile restaurant in an Omni van near Nandiguda, famous for its pork kebabs. Jonas would cut the meat and a helper would cook it. The food was so good that Jonas gained regular customers. Over time, Jonas repaid 400 out of 1 lakh, leaving 60,000 unpaid. His business went down after his cook left. For several months, he didn't pay back the woman who repeatedly called him. Eventually, Jonas and his wife moved to South Pet due to financial difficulties. They couldn't even pay rent. The landlord asked them to vacate. Meanwhile, the woman kept calling, but he deliberately avoided her calls. On May 10th, the woman called him again, and this time, Jonas answered. She told him she would come to his house the next day to collect the money. Jonas refused, saying he didn't have the money and would repay later, but the woman insisted and threatened to humiliate him in front of others. Jonas decided to leave the house before she could come. The next morning, as Jonas left his house, the woman saw him on the road, stopped him, and said she was coming to his house. He followed her. At her house, she humiliated him in front of his wife. Jonas tried to explain, but she demanded the 60,000 right away and insulted him in front of his wife. This made Jonas angry. He hit her on the head with a wooden stick, knocking her unconscious. Jonas's wife, Victoria, was also present. They dragged the woman to the bathroom, where, being a butcher, Jonas had knives in the house. He bought plastic bags from the market and started to strip the woman of her jewelry. They then used a knife to slit her throat, making sure she died, and began chopping her body into pieces, packing them into bags. They placed the head in a helmet. The bag with the pieces was placed in the woman's scooter, and Jonas parked it in Nandiguda. They also burned her personal belongings. That evening, Jonas disposed of the bags in various parts of the city. On May 18th, the police took him to those places. Jonas confessed everything, showing no remorse. After the investigation, DNA tests were conducted to confirm that all the body parts were indeed hers. Once everything was processed, the body was handed over to the family for the last rites. Jonas and his wife had sold the woman's jewelry to a man named Raju, who was arrested. The court later charged Jonas, Victoria, and Raju. Jonas and Victoria were sentenced to life imprisonment, while Raju received a 6.5-month sentence. The court also ordered 75,000 compensation to the woman's mother. The case is now being challenged in the High Court. Let's see what the High Court decides. Friends, the purpose of sharing this story is not to hurt anyone, but to make you aware and alert. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked our effort, please like and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to our crime channel. Thank you.